Hi, today we're at Blog Potomac with Geoff Livingston, who is the creator of Blog Potomac, which is now over, but we're going to start Nonprofit 2.0 soon, and he's going to be traveling around the world. He does a lot of great things, but I'll let Geoff introduce himself.
Hey, my name's Geoff Livingston, and I guess I'm a blogger and a communicator online. Thrilled to be with you today.
Great. So we have some questions, future of the web. What are some of the major trends and challenges for social media networks in the next year?
That's a great question. I think one of the big issues that we're seeing is filtering. So people want to be able to aggregate who they're listening to, who they're following, and make it easy. Traditionally, we've called that RSS technology, but most people don't get RSS. And I think that we're seeing with networks like Posteris, companies are figuring out that the average user is never going to get RSS. We need to figure out ways so that they can customize their content and the profiles and the people they're talking to in a way that's very, very manageable and simple. So I think that's one of the big trends that we'll see next year. The other thing I think we'll see is there's been a lot of chatter about 101, right? How to get on. You're like, ooh, this is Twitter, and things like that. I really see that ending. I really see a bubble bursting to some extent with that, where a lot of the new media, nouveau consultants are going to have a little bit of a hard time next year.
Interesting. How do you think ad targeting is going to change the next year? Do you see any of the applications or approaches taking over any of the others?
I think it's interesting. I think advertising's still having a hard time figuring out the model. I'm not really seeing anything that's making me jump up and down and say, wow. But Foursquare is very interesting in the sense that they sell drinks to mayorships. So let's say I was the mayor of State Theater. State Theater would reward me with free drinks and beverages. As a result of that, maybe free tickets to events so long as I keep promoting myself as the mayor of State Theater. And we're seeing more and more organizations doing that. So I think that there's kind of like a creative way to tie advertising with fun use. And that to me is kind of like more of an esoteric direction that we're moving towards.
Yeah. And who do you think are going to be the big winners and losers on the web next year?
I think Google's poised for a huge year, actually. And the reason why is because they have Android coming out, and obviously Wave has made a big splash. But whether or not Wave continues is another issue, but Android is definitely taking off. And that means the loser is going to be the iPhone. And the reason why is because it's the same lesson. I mean, I can't believe that Jobs has done the same thing, where he's locked up an operating system, won't let anybody else manufacture with it, and then all of a sudden you have a competing operating system, Android from Google, which every other major phone manufacturer, from Motorola to HTC to Samsung, they're all using Android, and every single carrier who can't run an iPhone on their network is pumping the daylights out of Android. And the issue with that too is if you've played with one of these phones, and I've played with the Hero, it's awesome. I mean, it's just as good as the iPhone. I'm not saying it's better, but it's cheaper and it's on every other network. Gee, which one are you going to do? I'm going to do this cheaper device, or I'm going to go to the iPhone for the Apple version of it for $200 more. It's a no-brainer. It's going to be a big, huge, bloody year for Apple.
Great. Thanks a lot.